Welcome to day 7 of, well, Christmas movies countdown. Today we're going to talk about the second iteration of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This is the Jim Carrey version that I'm going to talk about today. And like I said yesterday, we're just going to call it Jim Carrey as the Grinch. Or is the Grinch. So, basically, what they did is they remade the telling of How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey as the Grinch. Now, I am a big Jim Carrey fan, except for a few movies. We're not going to go into those movies because I, for one, don't like the movies the first two movies I watched that had him in it. But this one's pretty good. This one's really, really funny. So basically, it's just a retelling of, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but there's a few added details. For one, they kind of tell why the Grinch hates Christmas. He does at first hate Christmas because, well, I guess he's just the Grinch. But nobody knows exactly where he came from. Nobody knows how he got to Whoville. But, sorry, I got some of my glasses. I'll get it fixed in a minute. But all they know is they've never seen anything like him before. So he gets taken in by two Whos who apparently didn't know he was even there the night it happened. And he was out there all night. And, this is after Cindy Lou. Yes, Cindy Lou has a bigger part in this movie, by the way. She's the one that gets the Grinch to calm down from his face and mouth crumpet. Now, you're probably thinking, well, that's kind of stupid. It kind of is. No, the Grinch doesn't want to, have anything to do with the Whos. But, Cindy Lou finds out he's not a bad guy. She finds out he may be lonely, and he is. And so she tells him that she wants him to be the cheermeister. By the way, if you guys have not seen this version of the Grinch, I would suggest seeing it. It's hilarious. Jim Carrey makes the best Grinch, I think. Not saying the original guy isn't good, but Jim Carrey is top notch. The best Grinch of this era. So, they agreed to allow him to become the cheermeister, which is basically the MC of their jubilation. Again, this is after he saves Cindy Lou from being, stamped. I don't even know why, that would be a thing, but it's still kind of funny. Anyway, there's a point in the movie where after she, is saved by him, she says, "Thanks for saving me." And he stops and goes, "Saving you? Is that what you think I was doing?" Which is very, very Jim Carrey-like. And he goes, "Wongo." And he pulls out bunch of wrapping paper. He goes, "I just thought you were improperly packaged, my dear." He starts wrapping her up. Not to go into much detail about this movie. It's hilarious. There are scenes like this one where he scares off the Whos and the teenage Whos. And this is before, he meets up with the Who, with Cindy Lou Who. And then there's a scene where where after Cindy talks to him, he's talking about what he's going to do. No, this is before that. He presses this button on his answering machine, and he goes, "No, messages." And I'm sorry. If you guys are not seen this movie, I'm sorry for spoilers, but I have to talk about this part. He starts listening to his message, his uncle message. Better check out the uncle. He goes, "If you utter so much as one word, I'll hunt you down and gut you like a fish." And again, this is so Tim Carrey. Seriously, if you guys love Tim Carrey, you have gotta watch this movie. Anyway, Cindy Lou goes up to the mountain club bit, invites him, and then, he's like, "Man, I can do it." And, he talks about what he's going to do, and then he decides, "Okay, I'm going to go down there, but I'll be 3 late. Yes, no, yes, no, yes. Definitely not." Anyway, there's a part where he's dressing. He's going to dress up, and he's like, and he goes through these, different outfits he's going to wear. And, he has to have his dog Max, by the way. You can't have the movie without the dog Max. And Max starts barking and he goes, "It's not dressed as a kilt!" He pulls the skirt off and he goes, "Sicko!" He's got Carter on his leg. And, he goes out there, he goes to the hoop place and again, they go into the whole, at one point they go into whole detail about why he hates Christmas and why, anyway. Then the second half of the movie is just him going out and stealing Christmas. And I'm telling you, you think Tony the Tiger can sing? Jim Carrey. I'm sorry. I'm a big fan of Tony the Tiger, but Jim Carrey, oh my gosh. This guy can sing. He sings part of Mr. Grinch. It's great. So, he goes down there, he steals all the toys and everything. And there's, some funny things that happen. Like, he tricks the kissing the dog's butt. I'm not kidding. I know, it's kind of up there with abuse of a dog, but it's not very funny. And then, he does steal the presents, and they do go into the whole, boo-hoo thing, and eventually they figure out, it's okay, it's fine, because, we didn't need all that stuff. The Grinch, probably realizes that it's not all about the Christmas presents or the tree. And then, again, like I said, Cindy Lou plays a bigger part in this movie because he goes up there, everybody realizes that Christmas isn't ruined. And she decides, and, the Grinch is like, at one point he's just like, it's just presents, right? And before he lets it go, see Lou is seen up top on a sled. He goes, "See Lou, what are you doing up there?" And she goes in the whole spiel. Nobody said a long Christmas. They take the presents down. The whole him lifting the sled over his. The original. You know what he's going to do. He lifts the sled over his head, Goes, I got you, Cinderlo! And then they go all the way down, and he's like, and they go to class. He goes, even though we'll be horribly maimed, there'll be no sad faces on Christmas. And they stop it, and then he admits to it, and he tells them, and he gets happy ending. Even the mayor, and as always, as just like in the original, he calls the roast feast, and that's great. So again, if you guys want to see a modern version of the Grinch, trust me, don't go with the DreamWorks version. It's okay, but it's definitely not on par with the original. This one is kind of on par with the original, but it's funny. I'm telling you, Jim Carrey's The Grinch is just... it's funny. Don't listen to the nostalgia critic, kind of. It does, kind of ruin the original, but it's not as bad as he says. Anyway, tomorrow we'll talk about the third iteration, DreamWorks, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And that one's going to be a short video because it's not memorable. It's just not worth it. It's always good. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I'll see you guys tomorrow with DreamWorks, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I'll see you guys tomorrow.